Welcome to Cowgirl Talk, where we empower you to live authentically through real food, real talk, and real life. Sisters brought together by our love of cows. We're your host, Emily, a dairy lover and personal trainer living in Florida.
And Becca, a corporate cowgirl holding down the family fort in Pennsylvania. Let's go, cowgirls!
Hello, and welcome back to Cowgirl Talk, everyone. I feel like it has literally been a million years. I know it's only been about a month since our previous episode, but it feels like that was so long ago because August was just jam-packed for both Becca and I, which is why we took a little break and then also kind of unofficially made that the end of season 3. And now it's the start of season 4, which I feel like is great timing with the start of a new season. Basically, I mean, it's basically already fall. And again, just after a little bit of a summer break, Becca and I are, I don't know if I'd say rejuvenated because it was so busy. I'm still tired.
We're here.
But we're really excited to hop back into Cowgirl Talk and just catch up with each other on our weekly episodes, but also with all of you. So with this episode, we're really just going to kind of dive in, chatting a little bit about what our summer break entailed. And starting off as always, we usually do our highs and lows, and Becca had a great idea of how we can kind of switch that up and where that came from. So Becca, I'll let you explain that.
Yeah, so shout out Rachel Summers, one of our favorite listeners. Her and I have just been talking about podcasting because she's working on developing a podcast for her job. So that's exciting. And she said, I love your highs and lows, but one thing we did at a recent meeting or event was high-low buffalo to jazz it up a bit. So, there's so much to talk about. It's like, okay, you have a high, you have a low, but maybe there's something just really unique or interesting that you experienced that week that we could share. So we're gonna give this a try because we did it while we were catching up. And our buffaloes were pretty funny and just like great conversation starters. So we'll see how it goes. High-low buffalo might be a new Cowgirl Talk kind of thing.
I'm down for it. And I remember you texted me. Well, again, I literally traveled about 3 out of the 4 weeks of August. So I remember you texted me, but then I kind of forgot. But was it last week or the week before? It was when I was in Costa Rica. Becca randomly texted me.
Yeah, I was like, hey, hi-ho.
No,
maybe
wrong.
That's what we should call it.
Hi-ho buffalo.
I was like, high-low buffalo. Remember this for Cowgirl Talk. And that was it. No context.
She was like, all right.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask because you said not to ask. So, and we did. We got to discuss it beforehand. And I'm excited to dive into it. I think it's random and funny. And we're always a little random on this show. So as you kind of help bring this into Cowgirl Talk, Becca, what are your high-low buffaloes?
So my high is that actually we're like, when this will go live, this will have happened, but we are going to the US Open in New York City this week. We're taking the train in, and I don't know, I did this last summer. I took the train in to meet some friends in New York City, and it's so fun. I like just riding because we can work from the train, read a book, just like that's part of the trip. So we're going in Thursday night and then coming home, like we're leaving Sunday morning. And we're going with my best friend Ella, who we were both actually college roommates with.
Yep.
And then her friend and husband. So it's 3 couples, and it's the same group that went to Napa for Ella's 30th birthday. So we're really good at like really going all out on these trips. So I'm excited. And because I've been playing tennis, like I understand, I like the sport. And so I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. But I didn't realize how cool it was until I've told people we're doing it. And they're like, oh my God, seriously?
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, flex. It almost feels like I'm going to the Masters, but it's not quite as cool.
I mean, for the tennis world, it is.
Yeah. The only thing cooler would probably be the Wimbledon.
Ooh, which I would totally go to that because I want to drink pins in London.
Yeah, well, the drink apparently is of choice at the US Open. It's like a honeydew melon kind of drink, and it's a pink drink, and then they have 3 little like balls of melon on a stick that look like tennis balls.
Oh my gosh!
Instead of honeydew, it's called a honey deuce because deuce is like a word in tennis.
I know, but it's also like to deuce. Like, it's cute though. I like it.
It is cute. And we've apparently we've been getting served all these Instagram videos of like, these are the things you should eat while you're at the US Open. And the food looks so good. There's a chicken nugget box that's $100 because it's
Holy
chicken
shit.
nuggets and caviar.
Ew.
I'm like,
I don't even want that combo.
I think I'm gonna pass on this
Yeah.
100. And people are reviewing, and they literally look like McDonald's chicken nuggets. They're not even like good
They
chicken
cannot
nuggets.
be that good. They can't be.
No,
I mean,
it's
chicken
the
nuggets
caviar.
are good.
It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not that bougie.
I have a line. That's
So,
above it.
We're excited. And we've planned like a lot of cool places to eat. So, and some shopping places that we want to go to. Joey and I are ourselves going on a little date to Nobu, which is like so good. We did it in the Bahamas, and we're like, there's no way this place is worth the money.
Yeah, because it's expensive.
It is. It's like that's going to be a big date night to celebrate whatever we need to celebrate for the next few months. Nobu will cover it.
You've made it a couple months in marriage, so there's your celebration.
Yeah, like woohoo! And then there's an Italian restaurant we found that. Do you know Half Baked Harvest?
Yes. Yep. It's like, or she's a like food blogger, recipe developer.
It's like her favorite Italian restaurant that we made a reservation at. So we're excited.
Yum. I love Italian food. Oh, that's gonna be exciting. And there's a ton of the tennis players themselves, but then a ton of celebrities that go to the really popular tennis matches. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and we're going on Friday night to the men's semifinal match. So it's gonna be
packed.
Yeah, packed, and like I'll actually know these tennis players.
Yeah.
And I'll understand what's happening. I'm so excited. Because I've been like, my game has been good lately.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like my serves are in. They're spicy relative to me. They're like getting spicier
20 miles per hour.
Literally, like, whenever I serve, Dad runs up to the net and spikes it back because I hit it so slow. Honestly, he does say that sometimes. Don't worry.
I would. It'd be fun.
It is so fun, yeah. And we've even tried out some doubles. So I've just been like really, really loving tennis. It's been something that's been sticking with me and like the friends I've been playing with, and it's been great to play with Dad and Joe on the weekend. So this will be a really, really sweet trip. Like I'm super pumped. And New York City is fun. And then Ella, the friend we're going with, is obsessed with the Ring Concierge, this like jewelry store.
Oh.
So we're going to go to one of her stores. It's like whenever we buy each other gifts, it's a lot of times it's from this store. And so, it'll just be cool to do all these like things that we love on Instagram and then get to go to New York City and do.
I'm pumped to follow along.
Yeah. And I'm hoping, we're going to see if we can make this happen, but I really want to wear the new Dairy Girl fitness hat with my outfit at the US Open. Because it would be so cute with that green dress I have.
I know. Apologies for not getting it sooner. It was crazy
You
travel.
were like a little busy.
I think there may be some sort of post office thing open today, not UPS. As we're recording this, it's Labor Day. So I'll see.
Oh, yeah. Happy Labor Day.
Yeah, because that would be cool to have Dairy Girl Fitness repped at the US Open.
US Open, yeah. Even if you sent it Tuesday and overnighted it, it would be here Wednesday.
I think
so. And I don't leave till Thursday. So, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
So, and then that'll probably be my high again, but I can tell you all more about it the next time we record. So, Em, what is your high?
My high? My high would be, I'm looking at my notes because I'm just like, so much happened in August that it's kind of a blur.
I know. We both had to like take 30 minutes before this to just reground ourselves of, oh my God, what has happened since we last talked to these people?
Yeah, it almost feels like so much happened in August that it feels like it didn't happen. It's like, where did it go? So I feel like my high in general would just be travel in August. I love a good routine and such, but I love getting to travel to especially see people that I care about, but also, I mean, even with Costa Rica, I knew some of the ladies that went, but it was also new. And it was just such a fun month of getting to spend time with family, with friends, with catching up with a lot of people. And that was towards the beginning of August with coming home to Pennsylvania, our family beach trip. But then at the end of August, I was on Costa Rica on my Dairy Girl Fitness Women's Retreat. And Becca and I are going to kind of like recap all of this soon. But that was where I got to explore a new country with a really awesome group of ladies. And getting to do that is always just so rewarding and so much fun. And I feel like I can't not let that be my high. And I'm still
Yeah.
just kind of settling in afterwards. So hopping back into normal life. But as of now, still, I would consider just the travel part of August was really my high. And of course, normal life's fun, but it was just jam packed. And I still feel like it almost hasn't sunk in that, all of that happened. Like I frolicked through Costa Rica for a week with a group of women on my first retreat.
Yeah. That's crazy. I still
Right?
think about how you got to do that. And I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
love Costa Rica. So I can't
It's
wait to hear
awesome.
about the things you did and like even just compare it to kind of the ag experience that I had whenever I went.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give away
I know.
too
I'm about to
much.
like dive into it, so I won't
So
even.
did that, did traveling all month lend to any lows that you had, or what is your low for the week?
Yeah. Lows would just be my skin's acting like a butthole. I mean, expected, right? I was just traveling a
Airplanes
lot.
are
Yeah.
terrible for skin.
Yeah. So it was just I mean, and again, that's hardly a low, but it's just, something comes with travel. And I will say after the Pennsylvania beach trip, so I had a week between until Costa Rica. That week, I got kind of stuffy, just a bit run down. So just kind of the lows of travel, which aren't necessarily low because it comes from the high of travel, but
Yeah,
just being
but
a little bit, yeah.
they're annoying. I feel like it's a justified low.
But yeah,
Breakouts are
so
annoying. Bring
mhm.
rundown is annoying. I feel you.
Yeah, very good lows, right? Like the
Mm-hmm.
best a low can be. But I think my body's starting to readjust. Got back in the gym yesterday, sore, kind of embarrassingly sore for jumping back in. But I'm kind of getting back in my routine, and I think my skin's maybe starting to acclimate back to real life in
It's
Florida
like
weather.
moisture, Florida.
Well,
Yes.
humid or
Well,
humidity. Yeah, Costa
Costa
Rica was
Rica's
very
wet.
humid. It was so
Yeah.
wet. More
Yeah.
wet than here almost because it wasn't as sunny or as
Mm-hmm.
hot. So I feel like the sun here I mean, it's still humid, but kind of feels like it dries it up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
my low. So do you have a more drastic low?
Well, I mean, it's kind of the same as like, I guess, like just related to health and body. Em and I were talking. We really got into this
Yeah.
before.
We'll spare y'all from
we'll
the details.
we'll keep it high level for you all, but this is my low. I know I've kind of mentioned at this the last few months, but it's just like a PSA for all of our listeners who may be on birth control and
Mm-hmm.
want to go off or just anything with fertility or reproduction. Like, I am so mad at my gynecologist office because they did not prepare me for like what's the best case scenario, what's the worst case scenario of coming off of birth control after being on it for 16 years. Like, that's a
Mm-hmm.
long time.
Yeah.
And I was not prepared for the anxiety, the mood swings, the irregular schedule, like periods kind of being off and on and out of whack. And it's just so, it makes me so mad that I was telling Em, I've been talking to my doctor about this for years now.
Mm-hmm.
After Joey and I were like a year in, I knew, okay, this is going to be the guy I marry, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then,
It
so
worked out.
that's like been 4 years. I've been like saying, okay, what's your advice? What should I do? I don't want to be pregnant until after we're married, but I like want to be ready.
Yeah.
Um, and so she was like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And that was it. There was never any detail. And then even, the year leading up to it, I had asked, should I go off of it now? Like, how long will it take me? I guess I just didn't ask the right questions, or I didn't
You
ask
did.
any. Yeah, I just don't know that I asked enough. And I should have asked more of my friends questions who went off of it and went through the same experience. And just whenever I got the high level answers of you'll be fine, it's like, no, I want details. Like, I need to know what could possibly happen. Like, what's the worst
Mm-hmm.
that could happen? And I wish someone would have prepared me for the irregularity,
Mm-hmm.
and because that's stressful
Yeah.
and tracking things is stressful. So if I would have known, like, hey, for a couple of months, nothing's going to be normal. Like, it'll probably take a while. And then also your anxiety is going to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to when like birth control kept you pretty mellowed out. So that's my low. The good news is like I'm coming back slowly but surely, and things are starting to get more normal, and I'm recognizing the anxiety of, well, okay, this soul crushing anxiety means my period's about to start.
Yay, have a
Woohoo!
sign.
Okay, it's like, whenever I'm laying in bed and all of a sudden it literally woke me up last night.
Damn.
It was crazy. But then I was like, and I went to the bathroom. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
yep, there we go. So I'm at least like aware now, and that mentally helps.
Yeah.
Um
To be like, this is why I feel this way. This isn't
yeah.
real
Yeah,
necessarily.
this isn't like a problem. This isn't something in life that's making me feel this way. It's literally my body and my hormones. So this is just my PSA. I'm good. Like this is not a necessarily low. Like I can't figure it out.
It's so
It's more like
frustrating.
it's frustrating, and it's a PSA to ask as many questions and as many people as you can to like prepare yourself for this.
Yep. Yeah. Because we were
So
talking. I've been off for over 3 years now, and luckily off of birth control. I bounced back pretty quick, and mine was pretty regular from the get go, and I got very lucky that I felt great since. But that's not the case for everyone, and
no, I mean
there's
it's
really
been
no
four.
education around it.
No, it's been 4 months for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And
and it's still not quite 100% yet. And
yep.
so, and I think honestly, maybe me being a little bit older also has something to do with it. So, but yeah, and that's my PSA for my low.
Yeah, I think
That's my
just be an advocate for
soapbox.
yourself. Be an
Yeah,
advocate for yourself because again, we're not sometimes I've heard stories of females just being like gaslit almost of just everything's fine,
yeah.
it's okay. And it's like,
Oh, it'll
but
be
it's
fine. You'll be
not.
fine. It's like I'm not fine, and you should have prepared me for this.
Yeah, so just be an advocate for yourself and don't be
Yeah,
afraid to ask the questions or get curious.
yeah. So yeah, but
So,
anyways, so now onto the buffalo.
yes, the buffalo.
um, my buffalo. So, this was such a funny experience. I couldn't wait to tell Emily about this. So this past Saturday, like of when we were recording, so August 31st, I think. For work, I was at the Maryland State Fair handing
Yeah.
out samples of our milk because we were in a
Mm-hmm.
key territory of where we sell our product. And it was an area where, okay, we need to bump up our sales. We need more people to be aware of our brand. We're a premium product, so like, okay, let's put we had farmers there pouring our milk, so let's put a
Mm-hmm.
farmer's face to the product that people can meet and interact with, and it's like this really awesome connection we can make with our milk. And our chocolate milk
Mm.
is so good.
It's
it's
very
extra
good.
it's extra rich chocolate whole milk,
It
so
tastes like a
it
fudge sickle.
yeah. And I think a lot of people don't often experience chocolate milk made with whole milk. It's like
Yeah.
in schools, it's either 0% or 1%, or
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times, other brands will use 2%.
Mm-hmm.
So when people come up to the booth, I'd be like, this is the best chocolate milk you've ever had. You just don't know it yet. And they're kind of like, oh, God, this girl's so annoying. And then they drink it, and you can just see it in their face like, oh,
Oh my
she's,
gosh.
damn it, she's right. Or like kids will be like, oh, and like even kids were grabbing coupons like, mom, look, here's a coupon, we gotta go buy this chocolate milk. So
That's
like
awesome.
it was just like so cool. And people were saying, oh, are you like, is that a farmer from Maryland? I'm like, yeah, this is their milk, isn't that awesome? And so, but then there was this little 9-year-old girl who came up. You could just see it in the way she was walking. She was walking with a purpose.
Uh-oh.
And she like moved her little belt bag and put her hand on her hip and said to me, how many total sugars are in this milk? And I was like,
Oh God, why are you worried about
I was
that?
like, okay, all right, Gen Alpha.
All right, girl.
And I was there. We handed out over 1,000 samples of milk. Like it was a busy day, so I didn't. There were a lot of funny and also kind of stupid comments from people
Yeah.
all day.
Oh,
But I didn't
understandable.
even have time to be annoyed by anything. And then this girl comes up and says that, and I was so taken aback. I said,
Yeah.
well, milk naturally has, 12 grams of sugar in it or something around there.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're sugars that, are natural and digested and used by your body. However, since this is chocolate and it is an extra rich, it's meant to be a bit indulgent. We do have, you can see here on our nutrition panel, how many added sugars we have and then the total sugars. And she was like, and she put her sample down and went, oh, I can't have that much sugar. We don't drink that much sugar in our house. And I was like, and then
she's an almond mom.
No, the mom swooped in.
She's and was like, this is not my daughter.
She was like, I don't know what she's talking about. We love chocolate milk. And then drank it. So it was.
Go, Mom.
Yeah. And the mom's like, oh my God, that's so good. She was like, if she doesn't want it, more for me. And so it must have, this girl looked like she had her little Lululemon bag on. I mean, she was as I watch TikTok as it gets.
I was just about to say, she's
probably buying Drunk Elephant skincare, like all these things that which is terrible, by the way. That stuff is literally chemical grade peels.
Yeah, and it's so expensive.
It's so expensive, but like kids love it. I digress. When she said that and the mom swooped in, I was like, well, if she doesn't want it, here's a coupon for you to go buy some. It was such an interesting experience with a girl that had to have been 9 or 10 years old.
And that's terrifying for her.
Yeah, I mean, which, like, good for you understanding. Being aware. Because, yeah, we do consume a lot of sugar. Like, it's not good. But, like, chocolate milk is... And I even said to her, I was like, you know what else is in there beyond sugar? You've got 8 grams of protein. You've got lots of healthy fats. You've got 13 essential nutrients. One of them is choline, which you may know about, which is great for your brain development at your age. She goes, ugh, it's too much sugar. I was like, all right. Okay, good for you. Mom, teach her about balance. Like, it was just the craziest experience. And I've never felt like I was definitely so uncool to her.
I don't want to be cool to that girl because I don't want to relate to her on that level.
What do they call old millennials who won't let go of things that are millennials?
Boomers, I guess.
Chuggy. No, Chuggy. She was probably like, she's the most chuggy girl I've ever met. She's probably telling her friends about me.
Oh, she's from Ohio. Don't they like use that as an insult? Like they're from Ohio or something?
She's a chuggy girl from Ohio.
Like, oh my gosh.
But yeah, that was like just like I could not have predicted that happening.
Wow.
So yeah, well, there's my first buffalo. I got like nutrition mic dropped by a 9-year-old.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's good for the mom on not being hopefully the reason like where that comes from. But
yeah.
How about
you?
My buffalo, I guess just Becca explained this to me earlier. Just like something random, right? It's not like a high or low, it's just something kind of random funny. So when we were in Costa Rica, the 2 spots we stayed in La Fortuna and Monteverde were, I don't know, they were kind of like wood cabana vibes, right? A little bit older and, nice enough, but again, kind of old. And they always just kept reiterating, close your doors, right? Like close the windows. You don't want bugs to get in. Check your shoes. There might be spiders. And I was just convinced that we were going to wake up with spiders all over us. And it ended up being fine. Like there were no bugs crawling around our villas. They weren't even villas, rooms. And one night though, the first night in La Fortuna, I guess I was just so convinced that there was going to be freaking bugs on me while I was sleeping. I woke up from a dream. And I don't really remember the dream, but I remember waking up and on the end of the bed, like in my mind, I saw bugs crawling all over the bed. And I woke up just patting the shit out of the bed, like, ah, and like made a noise. I don't know if I made a noise or if it was just me patting.
You do that anyways.
Yeah. So I started patting the bed and then I realized, oh, we're good. There's nothing here. That was a dream. But then Monica wakes up beside me, who's also like... not a diva when she sleeps, but like I'll make a noise. She's like, what are you doing? And so I'd start doing that. And Monica sleeps with the eye mask on, like a hairnet, so she couldn't see. She's like, what's going on? And I was still like half asleep. So I tried explaining. I was like, oh, there's bugs, but it wasn't real. It's a dream. It's okay. And then I think she kept saying what? And I just like went back to sleep. And I was like, I can't explain what's happening right now. Cause like, my brain's not working right now, so trying to explain.
When you'll wake up, you've done this a couple of times, and I want to punch you in the face every time it happens because it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
You'll wake up like flail your arms straight up out of bed and go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And
Yeah.
like in this really scared voice because
I
you
know.
think someone is attacking you.
No, it's bugs. It's usually bugs. Or like snakes. I've had dreams.
Yeah. And
It's random.
it's happened like twice with if we've been together in a room, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm gonna effing murder you. Like, go
Yeah.
back to sleep. Because it's so scary because then I wake up like, oh my God, we're gonna die. And yeah, so
Just fake bugs.
I'm not surprised that happened to you.
Well, they convinced us, like, kept saying it so many times about watch out for the bugs. And yeah, so I woke up, started patting the bed, and Monica was like, what? What? And I was like, oh, nothing. Like, there were bugs, but they weren't real. And yeah, just me trying to explain it, I think made it worse. So I
Yeah.
think I was like, nothing. And I think we both just quickly went back to bed. But
I'm a psycho sleeper. Don't worry about it.
I hate bugs. So that's my buffalo. Because it wasn't really like a low or a high. It was just funny. And it happened. Yeah, the first night we were kind of in a cabin space where, okay, I could definitely see some bugs getting in here. Because there were like some dead spiders in the corner. So it was fine. Yeah.
Well, do you want to? I kind of want to start with Costa Rica. I know we talked about starting with the beach trip, but we've talked so much about Costa Rica so far that just give us like a recap of what it was and like the things you did.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So, yeah, we figured we would kind of spend the meat portion of this episode, right, talking about just kind of what we did over our summer break. And like we said, we did a lot of travel. Together was part of it. I was in Pennsylvania, the beach, which we can kind of talk about. But for my own experience that was shared with other women was Costa Rica. So I started Dare Girl Fitness, the Instagram in 2018, went full time with it in 2019. And in between all of that, I always loved the idea of doing some sort of retreat, right? And it always felt very overwhelming though, because there is so much planning that goes into it. And I kept pushing it off. And then almost a year ago at this point, so I think it was last winter of 2023, I had someone reach out to me from Trova Trip about, hey, we're Trova Trip. We basically partner with like content creators, influencers, people with the platform to do a trip. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that's how this Costa Rica trip came about. And I started promoting it like early 2024 and total. Then it was myself and 10 other women. And we got to go to Costa Rica from August 21st to the 28th. And it was a blast. I'd never been to Costa Rica. So I really wanted to go there for the trip. And it's a little bit closer than some of the other destinations. So it's not crazy travel times. And it was a little bit of the more affordable trips.
Yeah.
And
Costa Rica is it's a very cost efficient trip. If you like adventure, beaches, hiking, and like cool experiences related to either adventure or even just like agriculture. It's a great agricultural place to visit.
Yeah. And the cool thing about going with Trova Trip is you kind of pick the itinerary. So everything is laid out. And then once you get there, you have a local guide. So our guide was Irene. She was a queen. She was amazing. And so this guide knows anything and everything you need to know. And they're there to, of course, guide you, but fill in any gaps and really help you make the most of the experience. And it was just incredible, first off, to see women there. The first night for our first dinner, when everyone had gotten in, I like cried and teared up in front of everyone because it's just crazy to see your community in person, right? I love the flexibility of having an online community. I'm so grateful for the online community, and that's where DGF really lives. But it was crazy then to see it in person, right? The type of women that make up Dare Girl Fitness in person, and kind of like a random bunch. And it was so awesome that women took the leap of entrusting me with, I want to go to Costa Rica with like Emily, but more so the type of women that she works with. And it was so cool and just a really overwhelmingly good feeling. And our schedule, I feel like I could talk about it for years, but it was jam-packed. This was not a relaxing, leisurely trip. This was a jam-packed retreat. So we flew in and out of San Jose. So didn't spend a ton of time there. I mean, it's kind of just like a city, right? You don't really need to spend a ton of time there. But our main excursions were in La Fortuna and Monte Verde. And so we were more so kind of in the elevated rainforest parts. And we went when it's technically considered kind of wet and rainy season. And so there is the risk of it being rainy, of it being misty, and it was, but
Mm-hmm.
it didn't really negatively impact any of our excursions. There was one hike that it did, but it was kind of fun hiking through the rainforest in rain, and it
Yeah,
stopped
it
halfway
it
through.
like the wet matches the jungle environment you're in.
Yep.
It's not like, oh, I'm at a food market or like a, and it's raining. It's I'm in a mother friggin' jungle in Costa
Yes.
Rica. This is so cool.
Yeah. So it just, and everyone prepared for it, right? We had met virtually and we were in group chats. So we all prepared for rain, for bugs. And so honestly, everyone was fine on that aspect. And it was way less crowded. There were some spots we went on our hikes or on our excursions that there really just were not many people because it is the off season. And so I would honestly go during this time of the year again. And it's still warm, like
Mm-hmm.
70s, 80s. And for excursions, to try to keep it on the cliff notes, we did, what did we do? We did like a volcano hike. So I got to see a volcano. We did a hot spring resort. We did a hike through Gran Tenario National Park, which we
I
got
think
to
we
see
did
this.
that in
Yeah.
DSI. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a turquoise blue waterfall and it was beautiful.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. Keep going. I can't remember if that's the one.
Well, actually, when your coworker Becca,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, did she?
she responded when we were in Monte Verde. So she thought the one bar we went to looked familiar in Monte Verde.
It did look really familiar.
Bar
Where we
Amigos. It's the only bar pretty much in Monte
Yeah,
Verde.
is that the day where you went to the national park?
Yeah, so La Fortuna was the volcano hot springs and like the turquoise blue waterfall hike. And then when we went to Monte Verde, we did a hanging bridges tour through kind of over top of the rainforest, saw some monkeys, and then in Monte Verde the next day we did horseback riding and zip lining and then the big like Tarzan swing. And then that
Yeah,
night
that
we went into
Tarzan
Monte
swing
Verde.
was great. It was basically bungee jumping.
Yeah, kind of. So except you're seated versus just free falling with just your legs attached.
Yeah, which I like better because bungee jumping, I like have this irrational fear of the rope like going around your neck.
Oh
So
my
that one
god.
like well, okay. Yours is bugs, mine is like getting strangled.
I mean, yours is a little more scary. Yeah. But yeah, what Becca's talking about, if you didn't see my stories or anything, which I kind of put everything in a highlight on my Instagram because it was just so much fun. So the zip lining park, which I realized I love, like, I mean, I guess I don't say I love heights, but I was not scared at all. Maybe a little nervous in terms of making sure you correctly stop and or just doing everything right.
You're like,
But
oh, what if this rope breaks and I just fall
yeah.
into the jungle?
But like I loved the zip lining. Being that high
Yeah.
up was awesome. There were two lines that you kind of go Superman style, so you're on your stomach. The first one though, you're going fast and you can't break yourself. And they say duck your head, and I swear I felt like my head was ducked. But they yanked it so hard, and my head flung up and hit the pulley so hard. I had a helmet on, but still, all of the men were like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, "I want to cry from embarrassment." But I was okay. It was just embarrassing. And then you ended with this Tarzan swing, which was 150-foot
Oh my god.
swing like off a platform. So it's
Like I have chills thinking about going off something that high.
oh
That's
god,
crazy.
it's what I was most excited for. And basically you're strapped in. So then when you swing, like you're jumping into the free fall, that's always the worst part for me, right? Like the free fall, I lose my breath. But then once you start swinging, it's almost like you're sitting. And so you're swinging over the treetops and you only go a couple times. But I was just laughing because it was just so
Yeah.
fun. And we got pretty much everyone to do it. Even Eileen, my mother-in-law, did it, who was
The video
convinced.
of her, who is that? And it just
She
like
kept, oh, so yeah, our tour
their
guide
holy
Irene filmed that.
Yeah, she swore that was so. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah, I wish there would have been, because people took pictures throughout the park, professional, but I wish there was someone on the Tarzan swing that would have
Yeah.
recorded it, because
You should have had a GoPro like attached to you.
I know, and it was just so funny to watch how everyone kind of reacted with their body, because some people like went limp, some people, one of the girls, Maureen, she was literally like running in midair as soon as she fell, and then one of the women, like her head got yanked back.
Oh,
So
that's so
I went
crazy.
first. Well, Emmy went first and then I went second. So we got to watch everyone. And so it was just really funny to watch everyone. And yeah, when Eileen went, you can hear her just swearing the whole thing. And then you can hear all of us at the bottom cheering her on.
Yeah. You can literally hear you laughing at her.
Yeah. It's so, yeah, because like some of the girls, as soon as they stepped off the platform, was like, ah, just
Yeah.
immediate screaming.
It's
I lost my breath.
terrifying.
I couldn't scream because I lose my breath and like I can't make noise. So
Yeah.
I was quiet, then I started laughing.
That's so crazy. Like, because I remember I went to Costa Rica twice. I think
Mm-hmm.
it was like either both in March or March and April. One was
Yeah, 'cause
through,
yours was with school.
yeah, and one was the Dairy Science Club, and then one was this like 400 level environmental sciences class.
Mm-hmm.
And with that environmental sciences class, um, we were at like the Ag University, and then we spent a day with these host families, and they
Mm.
were, you know, like they had 2 pigs and a cow, and we were building like biodigesters for them
We
to
saw one
fuel
of
their house.
those.
Yeah, it's like just PVC pipe in a big hole.
Yep.
But then, there were kids there that lived there our age, and they like took us back into, kind of like it's like how you and I would go into the woods behind our house and there would be a
Yep.
trail.
Yeah.
But theirs, they had cliff jumps. And,
Yeah.
those were like 10 or 20 feet, and I'm still, almost pooping my pants over those. I cannot imagine 150 feet. Like, that
I
is
was
insane to me. That's insane.
yeah, they kind of put your feet on the edge and I stepped off, but if you don't, they'll kind of nudge you and then you're kind of crouched and sitting and then you go.
Oh, it's so crazy. And okay, so all kinds of adventure.
Mm-hmm.
How good was the breakfast in Costa Rica?
Yeah, the food was great. So when I told everyone or anyone I talked to and talked about Costa Rica, everyone said food is great, coffee is great. And
Coffee
it
is so
was.
good.
I loved the beans and rice. I knew that we were going to have a ton of beans and rice, and they were really good beans and rice, and loved it paired with eggs. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, just good quality food throughout. Lots of beans and rice, chicken, like salads,
Their
veggies.
juice is so
Oh my
fresh.
gosh. Yeah.
Their
The
juice
juice.
is so much better.
I don't drink juice here because it's basically just sugar water and it doesn't taste
Yeah.
anything like the fruit. But there, yeah, it was basically, it tasted fresh squeezed, fresh pressed juice.
Yeah.
And it was so good. We all would get it and just chug it. It was
Yeah.
delicious.
Did you have any starfruit juice while you were there?
Yes, we did.
I've tried recreating the star fruits aren't as good here as they are in Costa Rica. But I remember when we were there, we literally they had a star fruit tree in their front yard. So we shook it, got the star fruit, and then made the juice. And it's just so much better there. And
Yeah.
I think there is something when it's like straight from a tree, it's probably super ripe. And then
Yep.
there's something about fresh squeeze that just, and plus the environment you're in, I think also lends to it being a lot better.
Yeah.
So every time you posted food, I was like, oh, I want that juice.
No, the juice. Yeah, every time we all drink juice, we were like, this is so good. And if juice were like that all the time, I would drink it often. And then
Yeah.
along with that, so our tour didn't necessarily have, I guess you could say like agricultural visits in it. But we quickly kind of explained to our guide, Irene, that, hey, and not everyone was, but a lot of us are in dairy and ag or in beef in some capacity. And so the amazing thing about our guide, I'm sure it's like this with most of the trips, but she really just leaned into our interests. And so, we passed a ton of dairies or cows and she would always let us know. She stopped at like a roadside stand to get us queso palmito, which is kind of the well-known cheese in Costa Rica. And we literally just had a ball of cheese we were passing around on the bus. It was really good. And, on some of the hikes, we would pass different sorts of plantations. So we got to see different types of fruit. We got to see coffee beans. And one of the spots as well where we went to get lunch was also a spot that in the back, they had 2 pigs, they had 2 goats, a cow, and had a little like mini methane or biodigester as well.
Yep.
And so it was very cool and we even went to, in Monteverde, we went to like a milk processing plant there to get ice cream. And there were even other moments Irene tried lining up, going to dairies and it just didn't line up. But it was just very cool that we really got to experience every type of Costa Rica. And through the guide and through just their overall itinerary, we got to see, even agriculture in different ways. And then on the way back to San Jose, we got to see a beach even. So
Oh,
we literally got to see
nice.
every type of Costa Rica. And I would just 10/10 recommend, first off, going
Yeah,
on a Dare Girl fitness retreat because we had a
absolutely.
blast. The group of women was amazing. I mean, if you're going on a group trip, you go into it like, hey, I'm going to interact and have fun. But everyone got along so well. Everyone just like immediately dove into getting to know each other, deep conversations. We had some really fun conversations on the bus because we had a lot of driving, and then through our different hikes. And it was just so much fun. I mean, really great things can happen when you're surrounded by just a group of women or people in general, but this was just women, a group of women that just want to see you win and want to see you have a good time and like step out of your comfort zone,
Yeah,
because a lot of women did that on the bridges. One of our women, Belinda, like deathly afraid of heights, went across these bridges that are hundreds of feet in the air. And
crazy.
Eileen doing the jump. And then we did the horseback riding, which some people were brand new to that. And
And horses
it
are
was
kind of scary
awesome. Yeah. And these were like
in
so
like
well
a
trained, but
respectful
still.
way. Animals are animals, man. I
Yep.
like lizard jumps out and it scares that horse. Like, see ya
Yeah.
through the forest. So it is a lot of, I was thinking about that, how cool it was, one, that people like believe in you to the point where
Mm-hmm.
they're willing to spend that amount of money to go to Costa
Yeah.
Rica. But
Yep.
it's really the cool thing about these retreats, is yes, Costa Rica is a cost efficient experience, but it still costs money. And
Yes.
so, when people go on these treats or these like leadership or development type of events, where you have to make a significant investment, time, money, away from work or your
Mm-hmm.
business. Like, I know
Kids.
Emmy's sister, I think, had to cover, like, I saw her post the one day, please come back so I don't have to
Yeah.
lift these milk crates anymore. So
Yep.
people, not only is it their investment, but also their family and their friends' investment to cover for them. Um, that it's very unlikely that there will be people there who aren't invested in making the most out of the experience because of how much you have to put in for these things. So it's like a
Yeah.
guarantee of people are going to be excited to be there, or they want to be there for the same reasons that you do. So it's going to
Yep.
be a lot easier to click and get along, which
Yeah.
I
It
think is
was
like one
so
of the
cool.
greatest things about when you make an investment in something like a DGF retreat.
Yeah. And then we can move on. Because again, I could talk about this forever, but one of the women, she actually kind of got a scholarship through Trova Trip and had not followed me or anything before, and kind of found my trip through the page, even after looking at another one that got
Mm-hmm.
canceled. So she found our retreat and signed up for it. And she's a single mom of three. This was only her second time on an airplane, her
Oh,
first
wow.
time going out of the country. And so even just like, again,
No pressure.
for right, but for a woman to do that, right, and for it to go on a Dare Girl fitness trip, it was just so
Like, mind
humbling.
blowing.
Yeah, it was so freaking cool. And then the one woman, Belinda, she's a private chef in Ohio, follows me on TikTok because of my recipes. And again, for women to be like, yeah, I want to go on that trip, it was just,
Yeah.
it's hard to grasp. I mean, just how cool that is, and how,
Yeah.
sometimes social media sucks, but to be able to create experiences and connections like that is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one thing to follow a person, it's another to follow them to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
like,
Woohoo.
like from a follow on TikTok, from a I'm gonna hop on a plane and go to Costa Rica with you is huge. That's a crazy commitment.
I know. Yeah. We I'll say hi at the beginning. Everyone's nice, but you can still tell everyone's kind of like, ooh,
Like,
and
they're probably like, holy shit, I can't believe I did this.
yeah,
Um, yeah.
exactly. And then towards the end, the last time when we were all saying bye, we had a few tears. Even Monica cried in front of ladies. One of
Aww.
our girls, Emma, was tearing up. And,
Yeah.
it was just, and everyone's probably like delirious from being tired and a week of travel. But
Yeah.
it was just really cool to watch ladies slowly open up and just get more comfortable with each other.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It was the best.
Yeah, the next one you do, you've got to count me in. I know. I'm glad, like, Monica and everyone got to go with you. Whenever I was
Mm-hmm.
watching Instagram, Joey was like, "How much FOMO do you have?" I said, "Don't even ask me, because I'm not thinking about it."
Yep.
Because it just didn't work out for me to
I
go. But I was
know.
like, "God."
I know. Well, they've already reached
the
out
next
about
one.
potentially hosting more. So I'll
Yeah.
look at our timeline and schedule.
I gonna put in on the record, I really want to go to like Jackson Hole or Montana, or
Those were
do
some
a
of the itineraries.
like a really cool, almost, you know how that Caroline
Glamping.
Big Sky Caroline does that
Yeah, she
cowgirl
does the
camp?
cowgirl camps.
That is so cool, like legit cowgirl retreat. If
Yeah.
we could create like a Western, but also maybe hiking, like a cool
There
Western
are Western
experience.
itineraries.
Just putting it out there.
Yeah, Trova trip, y'all, for anyone who's looking to go on a trip, like, it doesn't have to be me, but they partner with so many people and there's so many cool itineraries, and everything is just structured very well. It's very safe, it's very comfortable, and again, they've itineraries for all over the world. So
Yeah.
I would recommend going on a trip like that. I enjoy group travel, and we had a very good sized group, right? So I would do
Yeah.
it again.
I know you and I were talking in like, and this was your first one of, oh, do I have enough women? Is it worth going? I feel like that was probably the max number to
It was
have on a
perfect
trip.
size.
Yeah,
Yep.
like you can be too small or you can be too big, but I feel like,
Yeah.
and that's probably why they pushed for that number of like, okay, what is the perfect amount of strangers? And maybe some
Mm-hmm.
people will have a connection. And yeah, you had a really great number.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll move on from that because I'll keep talking about it. But again, it was a 10 out of 10 experience. I would definitely recommend anyone go to Costa Rica. And again, going during the rainy season, really not a problem because
Yeah.
it also meant less people.
Yeah. Well, my summer break was way less cool.
Well, do we want to do our kind of quickly our shared experience? I mean, Pennsylvania beach or the house hunting?
I'll do mine quick because then we can end on a more fun one.
Okay.
My summer break has been a lot of like big girl, what are the next steps after marriage kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. So actually one I thought of was my name is officially changed in all capacity
Yes.
legally. Yeah, so I started with my social security card, then I had to, the way I was doing it, I had to do my passport next, which
Oh, yeah.
getting a hold of anyone, I finally got a hold of a person at the passport office, and he was like, yeah, I don't really know if it's gonna work or not, but send in the form, and if it doesn't work,
Why
they'll just
wouldn't
pull
it
you back.
work? Like, what does that
I don't
even
know.
mean?
I don't know, but he was not very helpful.
Butthole.
He's like, well, if it doesn't work, and I paid for expedited because I just wanted this to be done. And so he's like, well, yeah, in about 4 weeks, you'll know if it doesn't work. When they mail it back, then you have to
Why
go to
would
the
it's like,
US office to have someone like notarize that, like you're saying what you're saying. But
oh my
it worked.
gosh.
It's,
Good.
yeah. The newly named box, I probably didn't need it. I probably could have just followed their blog that told you what to do.
Oh.
But they sent you all the forms you needed. Like, newly named box was worth the expense just
Ton
to
of
have,
people recommended that to me.
like, just to have it organized. I think you probably don't need it. I could probably tell you what to do, honestly.
Mm-hmm. True.
And just
Now
tell
I
you
still
what's,
haven't done it, so
the reason I'm doing it is because we're going to Hawaii in January. So I just wanted to have, that's also the reason why I didn't go to Costa Rica, is because I had to save my days for Hawaii. Oh, poor me. But so, yeah, I got my passport back. My picture is so bad.
Yeah, you're not allowed to smile.
No, and like I had not a terrible day at work, but a really hard day at work. And that was the day like I need to go get my picture, and the girl must have seen how frustrated I was. I was like, I really can't smile. She goes, okay, I'm gonna help you with this. No, you can't smile. I guess at CVS they literally have a machine from the passport people that will approve or deny a picture before you send it in. And so she
you're
helped
ugly.
me like
Denied.
count like 1, 2, 3, like breathe and smize kind of thing. And
Yeah, I know. Like
it's,
I don't want to look like I'm trying to kill the camera.
I know. I think the worst part about it is that you realize this is just what you look like.
Yeah, like fuck. I'm ugly.
God damn it! This is what I look like. It's
like there's nothing I can do to not make me look creepy.
This is not a bad picture. This is just what I look like.
This is me existing. This is what I look like when I'm just like staring at something. Like,
yeah, that's the worst part. I told her, I was like, I'm not mad at you. I'm just mad. This is what I look like.
Damn, I don't look like a supermodel.
Yeah, she was like, it's okay. everyone hates it. And you know what? I bought myself a Gardener's peanut butter bar, like peanut butter melt away bar. So I'm like, not only do I hate what I look like, let's go eat something that's really bad for me. But then I went and got the license redone too. That experience was easy peasy. But yeah, so my name is officially changed. I'm officially Rebecca Peffer, which
Yeah, I
is
need to change our
crazy.
the logo, the Cowgirl Talk pictures, because it
Yeah.
says Rebecca Shaw.
Well, when I left the DMV, I did not. I like looked at my old Rebecca Shaw license and it had the hole punched in it. I literally started crying.
I know, that's I
I
haven't
was like,
changed my
"Oh my
name yet. I'm
god!"
like,
I'm
I
even
love
gonna like start
Shaw.
crying thinking about it. I left Shaw in my full name. I was like, I'm not getting rid of it. Um, I like got choked up.
I
I said,
know.
"Oh my
Well, we're
god,
like
this
the
is
Shaws.
crazy! 32 years of my life I've been Beck Shaw, and like just see ya."
I
Um,
know.
but so that was emotional. And then what else? I changed my name over summer break, and oh god, they make that. And now I've got to change like all of my insurances to then.
That's the
So
like. Is it
thankfully,
worth it? No.
work thankfully did all of my health insurance for me, just
Ugh,
lickety split. So
lucky.
very blessed. Then I've got to do car insurance, and the DMV automatically did my voter registration, which will come in just in the nick of
Oh.
time to like vote. I'm like, oh my
Yay!
god!
What a great election to get it back for.
I was like, of all the times to change my name and put at risk,
Yay!
you know.
Oh
And
shoot! I didn't even think of that. Maybe I should keep waiting.
well, I mean, you just have to have your license, and so it's
Oh.
like honestly, yeah. And then so I have to change my voter registration, and then I'll have to do all of my 401ks, all of my banking, all of my investments. So I have a list, and I have just been, I'm only doing one thing at a time to like
Yeah.
keep myself sane. And so now
Yep.
next step is insurance. Then my next step is my credit cards and my banking statements, and then my 401ks, and then honestly everything else, excuse my language, fuck it. I'm staying Beck Shaw. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think my giant eagle grocery shopping app cares what my last name is. So
No.
some of it, yeah. So yeah, I did that, and then we've also been house hunting, which has been very fruitful in the sense that we know what we need. So we have a very clear understanding of what we need and what we're willing to spend for it, and like what's within budget. And it's just been difficult because we both work from home.
Mm-hmm.
And
You need more space.
yeah, and we're like, oh my god, we ideally we only do this once. Maybe someday we build something, but I
Yeah.
only want to move once. So let's just pretend I've convinced Joe to have 3 kids instead of 2.
Yep.
And we need space for that and a space for both of us to work.
Yeah.
And so that has proven to be very difficult because everything within our price range, people are selling houses for like $100,000 more than they're worth. Like it's
Yeah, because
crazy, and they're small. They're small. They're outdated. They need like new roofs, or they need new driveways, or the concrete needs redone. And it's like, I'm not giving you $500,000 to then put a lot more money into it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and now it's like there's just nothing left on the market except for things that are too small and overpriced and outdated. And
That's
outdated not
annoying.
in the sense of cosmetic, outdated in the sense of it needs repairs. So
Yeah.
people keep saying like, oh, after the election, like blah blah blah, depending on how, because I think people are kind of waiting to see what happens.
That's true. But it's still
Because
frustrating to like wait.
yeah, so it's like, okay, are things going to stay the same if the new, like if current administration continues forward, like Kamala basically, or
Yeah.
if Trump comes in, will things change, or vice versa? Like what will happen when one of them takes
Because we
charge?
don't actually know, right? Like things could.
So I was like, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense that people are waiting to see what happens. So, and then also at the gym this morning, what I've realized is a lot of people with nice houses that have been in the family for a long time want to do private sales. So I've learned that, okay, I've got to talk about this more to people, of just that we are seriously looking, this is what we want. Because someone at the gym this morning was like, oh, well, I know 2 houses going up for private sale in the next like month. Do you want me to I'll send you pictures and like connect you with them. So there's 3 new house prospects that would fit everything that we need. We just have to wait and see like what they want to price it. And then all of the, like, there are a bunch of new laws that just passed with realtors about like what seller agents can buy, do and do not have to pay buyer agents, which adds more cost that like house buyers have to pay their agents. So
That's
it is
bullshit.
just, it's like, it's absolute chaos. So
Yeah.
we've spent summer, cowgirl summer break, really figuring out this whole like um what's it called, house game.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say your future.
What's it called? What's it called?
Housing
I like,
economy?
like,
Market?
yeah, like house. Yeah, I don't know
House
what the
hunting?
word. Yeah, I don't know what the word is. I'm thinking of. It's like out of
Yeah, I
my
was like
brain.
economy, market, house hunting, situation,
Like
living arrangement. I
like
don't know what else word.
realtor stuff. It's like an
Yeah,
R or an L word in my mind. Anyways, doesn't matter.
I can't think
It's
of anything.
that's like twice
No.
now on Cowgirl Talk that it has just left my
I
brain.
can't. I cannot think of a word that I've. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe it'll pop in after.
yeah. Anyways, so that's been my summer break, is changing my name and figuring like getting prepared to buy a house by looking at a lot of houses that just weren't it.
Yeah, it can be a exciting but then disheartening and discouraging experience. So I think going into
Yeah,
it, it's like, okay, I'm okay, you know what, you can get excited, but just knowing that
yeah.
don't I mean, it sounds so pessimistic, but don't get your hopes up too quick,
Well,
right?
I was convinced the house we put an offer in, I was like, this is easy. I don't know what people are talking about. Then we got like
Jokes.
someone came in way hotter than we did, and we thought we came in hot. And so I'm like, oh, I probably needed this experience to be humbled, of like little
Yeah.
old me thinking I'm gonna come in when there isn't someone already like, you know, 5 offers in and desperate and willing to like literally lay
More
their first.
desperate than you.
Yeah, like I think it comes to these houses get sold because people are ready to like sign in blood and give up their firstborn for a house.
Literally. Yeah,
Literally.
and it's not, I mean, it is different in Florida where everything's still kind of overpriced, and maybe it stays that way, so it's not even considered overpriced at this
It's
point.
like a
But
new price point that people
yeah,
have to be ready for. I really think it is.
yeah,
People are like, oh, it's overpriced. It's like, no,
that's what it is now,
that's what it is now. And
unfortunately.
that's what makes it so crazy and just difficult. So even I can tell like people our parents' age, like the Gen X and Boomer generation, who are like always kind of a bit judgy about it.
Yeah, like, why can't you afford house? Because it's
Like, oh,
ridiculous right
yeah,
now.
it's like, oh wow, we are so glad we don't have to like go through this, because everything is just, it's not what it used to be.
No.
So, well, I mean, we're in a good spot to be picky and to wait.
Yeah,
So
that's
we're
good.
very
Yep.
lucky. And I've gotten over the initial like, oh, woe is me, and now I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, like another one bites the dust.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, well, I honestly, it's a good mindset to have about it. Again, it's
Yeah,
like it can be fun and you can get excited, but just knowing that, okay, if we didn't get it, it wasn't meant for us.
yeah. It you know what? So many things have worked out just recently. It's like, you know what? That was really shitty in the moment, but then when something happens that you wanted to, it's like, okay, I'm glad that didn't happen. So now
Yep.
I'm getting a lot better at, if it's shitty in the moment, of realizing something way better is about to come. I'm going to give
Yep.
myself a day to mourn what could be here, and then I move on.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
but I mean, like, even moving on to the beach this year wasn't a
It
perfect
wasn't as
week at the
normal.
beach. Yeah, it wasn't like your standard what you expected. And, you know, it's crazy. Probably the worst weather we've ever had at the beach
Yeah, we were kind of
happened.
hermits for half the week.
Yeah. But what did happen is we found the perfect beach house
Yep.
for our family. So it's like, you know what? Damn, this is a season of give and take. This is crazy.
Yeah.
But we always spend a week at Ocean City, Maryland. And one thing that
Typically
we've
like
realized,
July into August, or
yeah,
yeah.
is that we've got to be closer to the beach, because with all the stuff we have, the kids, and we had found like a really cool complex that had great workout classes, a great little store there,
Yeah,
a
very
bay area,
cool.
a great pool, a great like beach bar. um it was just It
Did you
was a
hear
really
that?
long walk. Huh?
Sorry, that was like Hudson like yawn growling in the background, and I could hear it. I couldn't tell if
No,
everyone
I
else could
couldn't
hear it.
hear it. They
Okay, cool.
probably will. I wish they would have heard his "I have to poop" moaning earlier.
Yeah,
That was
I think that
so
was
funny.
another one. Anyways,
um, and we at the old place we had to cross a really busy intersection, and it was just a really long walk to
yes,
the beach. And it was starting to
yeah,
it was not good for like all the stuff we had or Graham or just
and
like
the kids.
the kids. We realized, hey, we got to get closer to the beach. So we found one. It wasn't right on the beach, but it was literally like
Pretty much as
on
close
that
as you can
last
get.
block. Yeah, it was that last block by a beach entrance. And it was perfect. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
had its quirks. It didn't have the greatest pool. It doesn't have like a bar that we could go to, but that house was awesome. Like
Yeah,
we found such a good solution so we can all keep going to the beach. Eventually when we all start having kids, we're going to have to figure out something else.
I
Probably
know.
honestly a different beach
Yeah,
where it'll just be a different vacation once we all need more room. But at this point, this still works for like the next few years. So even though the weather stunk because of tropical storm Debbie Downer, as
yeah.
we called her, it was still a great week. It was the best shopping I've ever done at the
I know. I
beach.
wore so many of my cute clothes from our favorite
Yeah.
boutique, Patty Jeans in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Shout out Patty Jeans. Sponsor us.
Yeah, they should sponsor. We buy so much stuff at Patty Jeans every
I'm
time we're in
literally
Ocean City,
wearing my
Maryland.
Patty Jeans. Like, I always stock up on my favorite Z Supply t shirts while I'm there. This is
Mm-hmm.
also my passport photo and my license photo t shirt. So
Wow.
thank you, Patty Jeans.
Pivotal moments of our life.
And we found a new boutique because we had nothing to do but like
Oh, yeah.
shop that like South Moon under or
South
something.
Moon Under. Yep.
Yeah. And I don't know, another cool thing we got to do, like we played a lot of Mario Kart. It was a nice week of bonding in different ways.
Yeah, we still all spent, I mean, of course, we spent time together. We were in the same house. But yeah, we all still, filled our time and hung out in different ways. And of course, we still found a way to make our way to Secrets.
Oh
If
my god.
anyone doesn't know, well, if you've never been to Ocean City, Maryland, there's a huge beach bar club like dance resort thing you could call it on the
Yeah.
bay. It's called Secrets, and it's Jamaican kind of themed, right? So a lot of the music, and during the day you can drink out in the water. There's
Like
different
tables
day
set
clubs.
up
Yeah, and
and
usually we'll
water.
go during the day, but just with the weather and such and the timeline just didn't work out this year. But the Thursday night, it was towards the end of the beach trip. Becca and I, with our brother Ty and his girlfriend Gianna, we ended up just going to like walking to a bar nearby, and then we're like, "Eff it, let's go to Secrets"
We want to,
during
yeah, because
nighttime, which
we're
is
like, we
chaos.
want to dance. And they have
Yeah,
like, Em and I have had some crazy experiences there and sister fights and like dragging
yeah,
each other into taxis. And
yeah. It's always a mess at
oh, it's
Secrets.
always a mess and something bad always happens. Like, as we were leaving, some guy yelled at us that we had fat behinds.
Fat ass.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh,
Thank
thank you."
you.
I
Thank
was like,
you.
"Oh, I still got it." And Tyler's like, "What'd you say?"
We're like, no, thank you so
Oh my
much.
god, thank you.
Like, oh, you think
But it
I'm
was,
cute?
oh my gosh, and like the orange crushes at night are not the best thing about Maryland and Delaware beaches are the crushes with fresh squeezed juice.
Yes.
At night they do not use fresh squeezed
Like
juice.
Tropicana and
They use cheap
vodka.
grocery store. Um yeah, that was so much fun. But that was kind of a bummer. One of our favorite traditions is every year we have a sibling day at
Mm-hmm.
Secrets. And like mom and Graham stay home with our sister's kids, Alex and Eva. And all of us and our significant others go to Secrets and just have
Day
the
drink.
best day drink. And then it's just so much fun. Like it's like the one day a year where all of us siblings get back together and have a little
Yep.
debauchery.
Yeah. Yeah,
Safe,
pretty much.
yeah, a safe level, but still a level of debauchery together to bond. But yeah, so we only three of us got to go out that night, but it was still fun.
Yeah, so spontaneous and just kind of random.
Yeah. And then, oh my God, the beach. I didn't get in the ocean once because I had to work
Mm-mm.
a few days from the beach, which is the beauty of a remote job on, of course, the best weather days. But on Friday, the water was hitting like the
The
sand. The
sand.
current was so hard that it almost made like a little 4 to 5 foot cliff, just a straight drop off all
Yeah.
across the beach. I've never seen anything like that. And they weren't letting anyone in the water, and the lifeguards were driving up and down on their four wheelers, making sure people weren't in there. And like it was so bad that they literally had people training in that water and I think just swimming to make sure nobody was out there.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah, for anyone who goes to northern beaches, northeastern beaches, you know that the water's freaking ice cold,
So
always,
cool.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And especially now that I live in the south, it's like bathtub water down here.
Yeah,
But in the
like even
north,
in March or April when we went to Clearwater for my
literally
bachelorette, that
anytime it's warm.
water was unbelievable. It was so
Oh,
nice.
it feels so good. So I'm trying to convince everyone to get down here, maybe eventually. But usually during our beach trips in Ocean City, Maryland, it's hot enough and it's like we're still going to get in the water. But this year, with the rain, the cloudiness, and just again how
And the
cold the water
sand just like
was,
whipping you in the face with the wind.
yeah, I got in what 3 or 4 times, and it was more so just for potty breaks. But
Yeah.
I got in, went under, just to also say we got in because I love being in the
Yeah.
ocean, but it was just too much this year.
Yeah, that was the nice thing about the house was because you know what? Everything works out. The weather was so terrible we couldn't get in the water. It was literally an under 5 minute walk back to the house to
Yeah,
go to the
so quick.
bathroom.
Yep,
So, but yeah, it was
good
all in
times.
all a unique beach trip. It wasn't perfect, but you know what? Some amazing things came out of it. So it
Yeah,
was
and it was
nice.
a jam-packed summer break, and it was yeah, it was a really fun August, but I'm excited to jump back into I don't know, I guess you could say like kind of more normal life and
Yeah.
getting back into cowgirl talk. I'm excited to, dive into some really fun guests and different conversations this fall. And fall is a blast for us as well. We got
It's going
cow
to be
shows.
busy. We're going to have
Yeah.
World Dairy Expo. We have the Dairy Girl Network conference.
Yep.
Like it's not
Football. You just
it's
got
not slowing
everything.
down at all.
No, maybe just like shorter trips.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I'm very excited. And we thought then for our fun kind of hot take, again, as we are diving back into everything, this one, I don't know if it's controversial, but
I think it
every
is.
year, yeah, every year, fall or the fall flavors and festivities start sooner and sooner. So our hot take was, when do you think fall officially starts? Or we know when it actually starts, the 21st, but like,
It
when do you
starts
feel?
on Sunday, September 22nd, 2024. So y'all
Mm,
relax.
yeah. So for me, I'm one where I can jump into a season and all the flavors and all the hype, soon. Like, I'm not going to wish anything by. Like, I'm still going to enjoy summer and I'm not going to wish summer's over. But if all the fun flavors start to come out or fun festivities, I'm all about it because, again, why not? I can still enjoy my other things and enjoy, the pumpkin, the apple. I just this morning got a fun new fall flavor from our local coffee shop. But also for me, Florida doesn't have seasons.
Yeah, so it's
Really.
like summer all year long for you. So
Yeah.
you
So
literally can make it whenever you want.
yeah, I don't get fall weather. It's still hot as shit here. I really don't even get winter weather. There's a little window you can maybe wear some sweaters and some jackets. But so for me and probably everyone else in Florida, I really do kind of lean more into seasons with the food and the flavors and such, right? So it's still 90s here until a couple months probably. So if people want to start drinking pumpkin and start to pretend that it's fall, I'm all for it because otherwise it just feels like the Twilight Zone here for seasons.
I think in general, people put things out for the next season way too early.
I agree with that. Like
It's
decorations and
so
such.
like people are, it's I understand being excited for things, but by the time summer's over, we've all people are already talking about like Halloween,
Christmas.
Thanksgiving, and Christmas. It's like, can we not just live in the
Yeah.
moment? Like everyone needs to relax. Like we enjoy summer when it's summer because by the time we get to fall, people are talking about Christmas. It's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
now it's fall. So I am very much a regimented season person. I think people need to chillax.
Mm-hmm.
However, after Labor Day, oh, she might sneeze into the microphone. Sorry if you see Phoebe just
She's
sneezed a little
chilling.
bit. If you hear her sneeze, she's right by the microphone. I'm sorry. But I just think people, like, I'm fine with it now because
Mm-hmm.
it's after Labor Day. It's like, okay, Labor Day for me is kind of signifying we're going back to school.
Yeah.
Weather's gonna start
And
cooling
football
down.
started back.
Football's starting. You know what? I still have a little bit of coconut creamer left, so once
Mm-hmm.
that's up, I'll start using my pumpkin. And I just think people need to enjoy the moment. I'm not drinking a pumpkin spiced iced chai when it's 90 degrees outside.
Oh, but the iced
I
is
know
perfect
it's
for hot
I
weather.
know it's different for you, but here it's like it will get cold, and that's when I'll drink it. Like this morning, the workout class I went to, part of it is like it's kind of like a big garage, so it's inside and outside. And our class was at 8 a.m. and it was about 59 degrees. It's
Gosh, that feels
sunny and
amazing.
breezy. It was, oh my god, it was perfect.
Jealous.
It was so nice. Like the fair weather was perfect.
All
That
right.
felt like a transition to fall morning. I'm like,
I don't
okay,
care. Don't want to
this is
hear it.
this is nice. So I think that people, it just, this is probably a bigger statement, need to enjoy the moment we're in a little bit more
Yes.
and relax. Like summer is summer, fall is fall, winter is winter, spring is spring.
Yeah, I agree in terms of that. I mean, I'm going to enjoy the things while they're here, right? Because I love seasonal flavors because again, I just
Yeah.
enjoy all of them, but I'm not trying to wish anything away. I think we're always so focused on looking
What's
forward, which
next?
is fun. Like it's fun to have things to celebrate and to look forward to, but we do need to get better. I think all of us in every aspect of just being present, right? Because again, I
Yeah.
think we're always in a waiting game of it'll be good when this happens, it'll be more fun when
Yeah.
this happens. And I even get that way of looking back on things and getting nostalgic and, just getting all in my feels. But yeah, every season serves a purpose and has good things about it, right? There's pros and
Yeah.
cons to everything. So I love jumping into all the fun flavors and stuff, and I'm definitely gonna enjoy them, but I'm not trying to just wish away all the
Yeah.
other
Like,
parts about
oh,
the
I
current
can't wait
season that
for
I'm in.
fall. It's like, yeah, but that also means another 3 months of my life has passed. So, like, let's just like chill and
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah,
the moment we're in. So, um, when the calendar says fall starts, that's when fall starts, y'all.
yeah. Yeah, I think we have a good balance. Again, I'm gonna jump into the flavors, but yeah, it's important to make sure that again you can get excited about the season, but don't wish anything away. Like if you want to put
Yeah.
your Halloween decorations up already, because I want our sister to, just because she's really
Oh
funny
my god, those funny
decorations
chicken
this year. But it's
skeletons.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, do that, but then you can still enjoy the season that you're in, right? So it's like
Yeah.
let them coexist rather than just forgetting about this season. Because yeah, everyone
Yeah.
always gets into the I can't wait for summer. And then it's like, I want summer to be over. And then I can't wait for Christmas.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you even enjoying
Like, do you
the
enjoy
current
anything?
moment?
Or do
Yeah, just
you only wish? Do you enjoy or do
mhm.
you only wish? See, I'm more
Wow, so
so
deep,
deep.
Becca.
I am very regimented. I even keep my coffee to match the weather. Like,
Mm.
guys, I'm gonna. So
I bought pumpkin creamer
I did
yesterday.
too. I did
Yay!
too because it was a little brisk and
I also just enjoy the
yeah,
flavor. Like I
yeah.
would drink it year round.
I don't. I made that realization the other day too. Was like I don't like pumpkin. I like the spices that are associated with pumpkin
Yeah,
because
yeah. Like
your
cinnamon,
girl drinks
nutmeg.
chai tea lattes all year
Mm,
long. So
yep.
it's like that's basically pumpkin spice.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm like, no, I don't like pumpkin. I like pumpkin is a vessel for the
You like
spices.
pumpkin spice.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
doesn't have any pumpkin in it. You
Yeah,
know what I
pumpkin
mean?
spice is the spice.
Yeah, the spice for pumpkin.
Yes.
It's kind of like carrots are a vessel for ranch or buffalo chicken dip. Pumpkin is a vessel for pumpkin spices.
Yes, exactly.
I will say, I'm talking all this shit, but I had a pumpkin cream cheese muffin from Starbucks the day it was launched because those are so
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, we got pumpkin granola. Again, I love foodie things. I love like
Yeah.
seasonal food items just because again, they're flavors that you don't get all the time. So if I can utilize
Yep.
them for a couple months, then the rest of the year I'm having all my normal flavors.
Yep. I agree with you.
Yeehaw. So for some of us, it's fall. For some of us, it's still summer. And for
Yeah,
me,
it's
it's summer
transitional.
year round. It's year round.
It's some fall.
It's
It's
Florida is
faller. It's
hot
some
and really hot. So I think we're still in the really hot season.
yeah. Yeah, it's like this weird. I feel like now we're in a transition. It's
Yep.
the we need a name for it. It's like linner or brunch of
Oh, I know.
seasons.
Summer to fall.
Some fall,
Nope.
faller,
No.
fall.
We're gonna. If any of y'all have some good transitional words, please let us know because I don't
What's
think we're
the
gonna have
yeah?
a breakthrough right now,
No.
and we won't take up any more of your time with us trying to uh, brain dump different words for mashup of summer and fall. Oh, but otherwise, I'm so excited to be back with Cowgirl Talk and to just dive into another fun season of different conversations about life, about house hunting, about ag, about food, and about cow shows now that we're kind of diving into that season. And as always, if y'all have any recommendations, which on social media, y'all gave us some pretty fun recommendations. So I'm excited to dive into those more of the season and moving forward. But yeah, any recommendations, any guest ideas, anything, we're always down to hear because we're just two sisters hanging out. So the fact that anyone chooses to listen, or even more than that, that someone says like, "Oh, I enjoy it," it's still just like, "Really?
Yeah, are you
Thanks."
sure?
You're lying. So we really do appreciate it, and we are getting back into the swing of things. So as always, if you want to find us on social, we're on Instagram, most active there. We're also on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. If you just feel like following us everywhere. And if you enjoy the show, we always do appreciate reviews, ratings, whatever it may be, because we kind of do this as a way for us to catch up and to get to interact. But it is really cool to see what y'all think of the show as well. So thanks for listening and welcome back to Cowgirl Talk Season 4.
All right. And as always, have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Bye.